Now, the first thing that I would encourage you to do in all of these poems is to check the comparison between experience and innocence. Most all of the poems chosen here have a parallel poem in experience, and you can really see the difference between the two by looking at both poems and both plates. Blake is intentionally making a comparison between one poem and the next, and there is a poem that corresponds with this one as well in experience. This poem here, Infant Joy, has, first off, we notice, it has a speaker, and then it has a narrator. The speaker we see in quotation marks. The narrator is the normal speaker of the poem. The speaker in quotation marks seems to be a young child who is either speaking or is being personified to be able to speak. And the child indicates that it has no name at the beginning. It's only, as it says here, only 2 days old. But then the speaker of the poem, the narrator, says, "What do I call you?" And the speaker within quotation marks says, "Call me Joy. That's my name. My name is Joy." And then there's a play on words here where the narrator says, "Sweet joy befall thee," blesses the child and says, "I hope joy is the way your life will fall out." And pretty joy, right? The joy is beautiful. Sweet joy, you're only 2 days old, and I call you sweet joy. And the child is smiling the whole time and is blessed by the narrator. Here we have a play on words that not just do we have the child born to its parents, it gives its parents joy, although there is that. But we also have the experience that a person has where for a moment they feel joy. And that joy might come from seeing the world for the first time or going through an experience that then you awaken to the world and it's like you've been born again. And you see the world and it's all joyful at first. That moment of exaltation and innocent seeing the world. Not just innocence because we haven't experienced anything yet, but maybe innocence because we suddenly realize that the world is charged with beauty. And I really appreciate in this plate how that sense of being charged with beauty is embodied in the plate that he creates, the painting here that he creates. It's got this curling around of the flower that comes out of the earth, much like the trees that we saw earlier, only here the flower is colored, it's all green, and though it has that dragonish quality to it, it is somewhat snaky. It snakes around the actual poem itself. It is nevertheless colorful in this instance with these glorious golden colors coming out below. And there's one over here on the edge, a sister flower that's hanging its head almost like it's still bashful or still asleep. But the flower up here at top is almost floating over the world, elated, ecstatic. And floating in that flower, cradled in that flower, is this little domestic scene. It looks almost like a mother with a newborn child and an angel peering down, or perhaps a mother and child and a sister perhaps looking on. But they're surrounded, suffused with this glow of gold and light. And the fire of the flower, the petals of the fire of a flower like fire coming up around. They're curling in around the image of the figures, so that the figures are themselves surrounded by this ensconcing, almost fire image. Notice that on either side is the darkness, the dark colors that surround this fire. But for one moment, for one ecstatic moment, heaven seems to be on earth. And it's that moment of heaven that Blake says to a degree is the experience of innocence. Innocence not just for children, but innocence that's available for anybody at any age, seeing heaven in a grain of sand.